X-Men Encyclopedia, A section. Akanti, a group of well-like aliens that were enslaved by the Brood and used as living starships. See X-Men vs. the Brood. After the X-Men were infected by brood eggs, Wolverine's healing factor in adamantium skeleton enabled him to reject the influence of the eggs. Determined to kill his teammates should they hatch into the Brood, Wolverine was spared that decision when Prophet Singer of the Akanti race cured the X-Men. The Acolytes. A group of mutants known as the Acolytes came together to support Magneto in his quest for mutant supremacy over the human race. Wolverine has met the Acolytes in combat many times. See Magneto and Fabian Cortez. Adamantium. Adamantium is a nearly indestructible metal alloy developed by American scientist Dr. Myron McLean. Sometime after World War II, a Japanese scientist known as Lord Darkwind developed a process by which adamantium could be bonded to human bone. However, Lord Darkwind's notes were stolen by some unknown party. Years later, the top secret Weapon X program bonded adamantium to Wolverine's skeleton. The process gave Wolverine unbreakable bones. But were it not for his mutant healing factor, the bonding process would certainly have killed him. The Adversary. Known to Cheyenne as the Great Trickster, the Adversary is an ancient mythical being of immense power. His goal is to destroy Earth's dimension so he can remake it to his own liking. The Adversary used the Great Gate created by Forge years before to enter Earth's dimension. See Forge. He then imprisoned Roma, the guardian of the multiverse, within her own extra-dimensional fortress, the Starlight Citadel. See Roma. Wolverine and the X-Men with Forge invaded the Starlight Citadel to rescue Roma. During the rescue, Forge cast a spell that transformed the X-Men into pure energy. He then used that energy to push the Adversary back through the Great Gate, sealing it shut behind him. The X-Men were thought to be dead, but Roma restored them. Age of Apocalypse. When Charles Xavier was accidentally killed by his future son, Legion, before he formed the X-Men, a new timeline was created. In a world without Xavier, Magneto formed the X-Men to fight the threat of the deadly mutant known as Apocalypse. In this reality, Apocalypse has taken control of the North American continent, leading his mutant army on a crusade to wipe out all humanity. Wolverine, known as the Weapon X, along with Jean Grey and various other X-Men, ultimately corrected this timeline with the help of a time-hopping bishop, who was trapped in this violent alternate world. Albert. Donald Pierce, the cyborg leader of the Reavers, designed Albert to be an exact double of Wolverine. Teamed with a second android, LCD, the two were programmed to eliminate Wolverine. Elsie, who would self-destruct when near Wolverine, was mistakenly programmed with a maximum logic program that gave her survival instincts. Not willing to sacrifice herself, Elsie used her programming to modify Albert's intelligence and capabilities. Nearly destroyed in his battle with Wolverine, Albert rebuilt himself with Kevlar, enhancing his durability. When Wolverine risked his life to save Elsie, she and Albert became his allies. Albert and Elsie are devoted to Wolverine, even traveling back in time, discovering that Wolverine might possibly have been killed in a distant past. Alchemy and the Troll Associates. Tom Jones is called Alchemy because of his mutant ability to transmute elements. A group of trolls named Fiend, Fit, Fae, Foe, and Fum, collectively known as the Troll Associates, kidnapped Alchemy's mother, which forced him to help them in their attempts to take over the world. Excalibur and X-Men came together to fight Alchemy and the Troll Associates. During the battle, Alchemy temporarily transmuted Wolverine's adamantium claws into rubber. With Alchemy's help, the heroes defeated the Troll Associates and saved Alchemy's mother. Alhazred, Abdul. Twice, Abdul Alhazred attempted to slay Tiger and take over her role as crime lord in Madripoor. Both were defeated by Wolverine. Alhazred can open mystical gateways within his own body to free horrifying demons at his command. Alhazred can also manipulate a human psyche to free a person's inner psychological demons. Wolverine fought against his inner demons and won, refusing to let his inner beast take him over. The feedback from Wolverine's resistance caused Alhazred to disappear into his own mystical gateway. Alpha Flight. After reading about the reforming of the Fantastic Four, the head of Department H, James Hudson, formed Alpha Flight, a group of superheroes composed mainly of mutants. Their first mission, with Wolverine as their leader, saw them defeat Egghead and Eel, who were threatening the country with nuclear weapons. This resulted in the death of a member. When Wolverine left to join the X-Men, Department H used a second-generation team to bring him back. The team failed, and it was later agreed to let him remain a member of the X-Men. Over the years, both teams have helped each other on several occasions. Amico. After the Secret War, see Beyonder, Wolverine and the X-Men were teleported back to Earth. They appeared in Japan where they battled a giant dragon. Young Amico's mother was killed in the devastation. Mariko Yoshida and Wolverine took Amico in, and she became Mariko's ward. After Mariko's death, Wolverine arranged Amico to live with foster parents. However, her foster parents were mentally abusing her and were frivolously spending her child support checks on themselves. Wolverine took it upon himself to liberate Amico from the couple. Wolverine placed her in the care of the adventurer Yukio. See Yukio. When Yukio is away on a mission, Amico is left in the care of the Silver Samurai. Amico sees Wolverine as a good samurai. She longs to one day become a great and noble warrior as well. Anderson, Chief Magistrate. The green and pleasant land of Genosha owed its prosperity to mutant slaves who were exploited to elevate the human population. Chief Magistrate Anderson is the officer in charge of the Genoshan Magistrate Police Force. When the X-Men helped to destroy the Genoshan system of mutant slavery, Chief Anderson and her magistrates were their primary adversaries. Now that the Genoshan government has been restructured, Anderson is working to keep peace in a land where one-time slaves learn to live with their former masters in harmony. Angel/Archangel. When he first met Wolverine, Warren Worthington III, the high-flying angel, did not particularly care for Logan. Wolverine has always been somewhat lacking in social grace, but the true source of their animosity is a great deal more profound. Both harbored unrequited romantic feelings for Jean Grey. As a result, they often clash over what's in Jean Grey's best interests, much to Jean's dismay. Over the years, Angel and Wolverine have become friends as well as teammates. Together, they join forces with Gomer the Ancient and Doctor Strange in a quest for the mystical liquid, the Crimson Dawn. They battled Tar, the keeper of the Crimson Dawn, and were able to use it to save the life of the X-Men Psylocke. See Doctor Strange and Gomer the Ancient. Warren's life took a dramatic turn during the battle with the Martyrs. Harpoons pinned Angel's wings against the wall. In the aftermath, Angel's wings would be amputated, but Apocalypse replaced Warren's wings and transformed him into Archangel. The Animan. 5 scientists were recruited to form a group called the Animan. None of them had superpowers until Count Nefaria transformed them into Ape-Man, Birdman, Catman, Dragonfly, and Frogman. This was done so they can take control of the North American Air Defense Command Center at Valhalla Mountain. Only a short time after Xavier formed a new team of X-Men, they thwarted Nefaria's plans, see Count Nefaria. The resulting battle took the life of the X-Man Thunderbird. Dragonfly is currently the only living member. Apocalypse. The being known in ancient Egypt as En-Sabanur has walked the earth for countless centuries. Apocalypse is a mutant who has dedicated his immortal life to creating a world in which only the strongest willed will survive and human will be viewed as cattle. He is responsible for transforming Angel into Archangel. See Angel and Archangel. Apocalypse's goal to see the strongest mutants ruling over humankind has often brought him into conflict with Wolverine and the X-Men. Recently, a weakened Apocalypse was slain by his former servants, the Dark Riders, only to be resurrected by Genesis. See Genesis. Arcade. Arcade is a wealthy maniac who builds deadly amusement parks, aka murder worlds. For a $1 million charge, Arcade will lure any target into his murder world to face death. Wolverine and the X-Men have faced a variety of murder worlds and escaped. After killing his assistant for slashing his face, Arcade sought to frame Wolverine for the murder. Together, Wolverine and Gambit defeated Arcade and Mastermind II, his ally, daughter to the original Mastermind. They proved Wolverine's innocence, and Mastermind left Arcade in a permanent state of delusion. Arclight. Arclight, aka Philippa Sontag, is one of the Martyrs, a group of assassins. These assassins work for Mr. Sinister, see Mr. Sinister. Because they are clones, any martyr that dies in battle can be replaced. Arclight can amplify kinetic energy of her own body and create illusions of superhuman strength. Wolverine first met Arclight when the Martyrs massacred the Morlocks in their tunneled homes beneath Manhattan. See Martyrs and Morlocks. Archon. Archon is the ruler of the largest country on the extra-dimensional world of Pamacus. His sole power comes from the energy rings that circle the planet. Archon has searched the Earth several times in a desperate ploy to discover an energy source that will replenish the rings of Pamacus, which has often caused him to come to blows with Earth's heroes. Once he recruited Storm to use her power to replenish the rings. Later, Wolverine and the X-Men would join with the Fantastic Four to save Pamacus from an invasion by the aliens, the Badoon. Asgard. Asgard is the extra-dimensional home of the Norse gods, including Thor and Loki. Wolverine and the X-Men have journeyed to Asgard to save the New Mutants and Storm and Loki. Manipulated by Loki with the opportunity to become a new god of thunder, Storm nearly killed Wolverine. When Wolverine's near death at her hands made Storm turn against Loki, a defeated Loki removed Storm's godlike powers and returned the group to Earth. Asteroid M. This name often refers to a massive asteroid set into synchronous orbit around Earth, which has been the site of many battles between the X-Men and Magneto. The original Asteroid M was destroyed, but Magneto easily replaced it. Aurora. Jean-Marie Beaubier, like her twin brother John Paul, is a mutant with the ability to fly at incredible speeds and generate incandescent bursts of light. See North Star. Jean-Marie trained with James McDonald Hudson at Department H. As Aurora, Jean-Marie became a founding member of Alpha Flight. Ironically, one of Jean-Marie's first missions was to capture Wolverine, the person that had recruited her, who had abandoned Department H to join the X-Men. Australia. After their nationally televised deaths in Dallas, see Adversary. Wolverine and the X-Men let the world believe they were dead. Their strategy was to gain a greater amount of freedom and the element of surprise. The X-Men used the former headquarters of the Reavers, see Reavers, which was a deserted town in the Australian outback. From there, a silent mutant gateway could teleport them to any destination in the world. Avalanche. Dominic Petros is a mutant who can generate powerful waves of vibrations with his hands that can create earthquake-like effects in a limited area. A member of the Second Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, Avalanche first fought Wolverine and the X-Men during the assassination attempt on Senator Robert Kelly. See Kelly Senator Robert. Avalon. Cable's massive futuristic satellite, Grey Malkin, was thought to be destroyed until Magneto restored a portion of the satellite for his own purpose. Magneto planned to use Avalon as a haven for mutants, a separate and sovereign nation for the Homo superior race. When Exodus fought Holocaust in Avalon, the fallout from their battle destroyed the satellite. Avengers. As one of Earth's foremost teams of superheroes, the Avengers were dedicated to protecting humanity against threats beyond the capabilities of the more conventional peacekeeping forces. Over the years, the Avengers rosters has featured some of the greatest heroes to walk the Earth, from Captain America and Thor to Iron Man and Vision. Wolverine and the X-Men have fought alongside the heroic Avengers on many occasions. End of the A section.